Right, we are back. We are back in the area that has defeated me not just once, but twice. And as I said before, I'm not going to give up. I'm not one that gives up very easily, so I'm going to carry on. I'm going to give it a crack, and I'm going to keep going until we complete it and catch a fish or a few fish. Then I'll be happy, then I'll move on. But until then, we're going to be stuck in this area because I'm a stubborn old bastard. Anyway, yesterday I didn't film. Well, I did film early morning. That'll be part of the video, but earlier segment. My Crohn's started playing up yesterday, so I felt a little bit ill and I couldn't really complete a good day. So today I'm not 100%, but again, stubbornness gets me out of the house, and stubbornness is what keeps me moving, and that's something I'm going to stick to. So we're going to leave it as that. Later on I will set up the tripod, and I will have the tripod by the side of me with my speaker going, so you'll be able to see a little bit of me fishing from the gimbal. And if I catch a fish, or if I hook into a fish, I'll switch it over to the GoPro. So as of that, this is where I am. And that section that you're seeing just down by there is where I'll be setting up the tripod and gimbal later on, because they do start rising down there quite a lot. But it's a very hard place to catch fish in. So I'm going to hunker down there until about 10 o'clock at night and see what we can do. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on. And I will switch the GoPro on if I catch anything in this little section by here before we move down. See you very soon. I just had a take off the fly, and me being an absolute knob as usual, guys. I missed it because I was too busy cursing the wind. But we will try again. I'll leave the GoPro on and we'll keep going and see what happens. Maybe I can get it on camera, and maybe I can just call it quits on this area then, see? Because then we can move on to the next spot. Change the fly out because for some reason it doesn't seem to be sitting on the surface very well.
But you want that one.
So we're going to switch that out now. We're going to try a smaller fly and see what happens. Maybe I don't know. It's the problem when you got a choice of all them. Makes it a bit of a
on the other side.
pain in the arse.
What about that little one? The little parachute Adams.
I'm going to give it a crack, we'll see what happens. And all that. So what we are trying is going to be little parachute Adams. It's very difficult to get this camera to focus, but you get the gist of what it is. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I got the other rod with me as well, so we got a chance of two, using both rods, the 8-footer and the 10-footer. So I'm going to sit with the 10-footer for a minute, and I may switch out to a very small fly, which is a mid-size fly, and it's super tiny.
That one.
I'm going to keep the camera on for a little while. I'm going to do a bit of filming, so you know, if there's any newbie fly fishermen out there. My casting is okay, my presentation is a little bit off, but you know, the basics are there, and it could be something, you know, for you to watch and see how it goes. And like I said, guys, I'm not here to be catching fish constantly all day every day, because it's very unrealistic. You know, some days you go out, you're not going to catch. Some days you go out, you will catch. It completely depends on the day, it depends on the weather. There's probably other factors in with it as well, you know, that could be causing that. And it's just one of those things that you just got to take it as it comes each day. I don't know if I've said it on my previous videos, but I don't know if the wind is a factor, because I know there's that saying that if the wind blows from the east, the fish bite the least. If wind blows from the west, the fish bite the best. Wind blowing from the north, the fish go forth. Wind blowing from the south blows bait into their mouth. I am not sure if that counts for all types of fishing, but I know it used to count for sea fishing, and that's basically what I used to do a lot of with my brother, which we will do an episode on at some stage. We'll do an episode of sea fishing. I gotta take my wife down to Penarth, so we'll give it a crack and see what happens there. But as for the area, as you can see, you know, it's a very narrow little spot, so it's very difficult. So what I tend to do is I come down here and I wait a little while until I start seeing a few more rises further down, and then they kind of move up a little bit further and they start rising a bit more up by here, which then they seem to have settled then and calmed down a touch, because obviously with it being so narrow, there's going to be a lot of disturbance from me, and that may make them go a little bit quiet for a while. So sometimes it's best, from what I've been told and from what I've read, that sometimes it's best to just go to a spot, just wait, give it 20 minutes, even if you're just going to sit down and have yourself a cup of tea or have a drink or have a fag or whatever, you know, just give it up to about half hour. And if you don't see anything rising after about half hour, it's up to you whether you want to switch tactics and maybe go for a nymph setup, or maybe switch to a streamer. That's completely up to you. But most of the time I like doing my dry fly fishing. I don't know why. I said I'm useless at doing a bit of nymphing. I'm not really got the technique down, but I'll probably pick up an actual nymphing rod, so I know I can do that in time. Yeah, so as it is, like I said, you know, you just sit around, just wait a little bit, give it a bit of time and see what happens. And they will start rising. Like there's a little one just rolls down the bottom just then, and he's been consistently rising for a while, but he'll go quiet. But we'll see what happens anyway. We'll give it a crack. But yeah, as I said, I'm back on the 10-foot rod. Like I said, 10-foot rod, floating line, 12-foot leader on it. My little trusty old parachute Adams that always does the job when most things don't. We'll get going. So I'm not too sure. I think it's around about 10 feet that this microphone picks up for, so you can probably hear me anyway, and we'll get there, you know. So what I'm trying to do, you probably won't be able to pick it up on camera, but there's a lot of big boulder rocks that have been stacked, and this area, they tend to hide right against the rocks. So sometimes I try and drift the fly right up the side of the bank close to me and let it drift down. The only problem with that is when you don't give it out enough line on the reel, it just ends up swinging back in towards you and causing a lot of drag on the line. So I give it a bit right into the corner, I let it drift, and I try and shake out a bit of line, hopefully without sinking the parachute Adams. But it's one of those, you know, it's trial and error. If you don't try it, like I said before, you don't try, you're never going to succeed. So it's always good to try, and if you fail, you fail. I was told not to give up on it. I was told to give it time, keep pushing and keep going, and that's what I'm doing. Guys, we are into a fucking fish. It is not a big fish, I don't care, it is a small fish, and I don't give a fuck. All I care about is that I got a fish, and he's a feisty little bastard, I give him that. But we have got a fish here, gentlemen. Fucking right, guys, we have caught a fish here. Fuck my life, finally. You grab that. Don't think you can get it. Can I have a light? Let me get this hook out of him. We caught him just as well. Calm down, bro. I need to get a fly out of your mouth, you fucking fanny. Show your fucking beans, bro. Okay, where's that fly? So, guys, we have a fish. He's not a big fish.
He's a slippery fish.
But he is a fish. Look at that. Fuck me. I have fished this area for 3 days straight. Shine the light down so I can see it on the water. Fucking hell, guys, we have had a fish. That has made my absolute day. Right, so there we are. We finally caught a fish. Wasn't a big fish, but it was a fish. That's all I care about. I weren't going to give up until I actually got one. It took a lot longer than I anticipated. My dog is drinking in the background if you're wondering what that noise is. We had a bit of a tough time down there. And the thing is, I know that I'm fishing late times, and I'm also fishing in the summer, which makes it a bit more of a difficult time, because we know that fishing in the summer is a very difficult time of the year. But my thoughts on that is that I'd rather fish during the summer and really fish during the tough times, so when it does get into the times that it's easier to fish, I'll catch more fish, you know, and I won't be struggling so much. But as I said, it's a good way to end this this little series, because it is obviously a series now. But we will go back there in time. We will go and see if we can catch something bigger. Who knows, we may not, but I'll see if I can fish some different areas, get a bit more experience, and maybe I can go back there towards the end of the summer and see if we can get something bigger out from there. But yeah, that's it for this little series. The next area we'll be moving on to is the same river, just again a different area. So I'll be moving up a little bit, about a mile, in another nice little spot where there's supposed to be some nice trout.